Hey, Sagittarius, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your August 2025 bonus reading. If you are interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Sagittarius, we are going to look here at the sacred shift and divine gift that is wanting to show up here in your life. What needs to be released or even embraced in order for this gift to fully manifest here for you? So basically, what is waiting on the other side of the changes that are currently occurring in your world? You have here the Judgment showing up at the bottom of the deck. This is a new beginning. Starting a new life here, Sagittarius, finding your purpose. This is also a forgiving and compassionate review of the past. You've been undergoing a spiritual rebirth, but this is about your purpose. This is a second chance to fully live and lead from your soul center. Some of you may have felt judged. Perhaps you have judged your own self based on circumstances or scenarios that have played out in the past, but this is a time for you to put that behind you. You've gone through the trials and tribulations. You don't have to go back there. I feel like this is you meeting your judgment day where you get to have this second chance in a way that maybe you never thought possible. There's a huge shift occurring here. You actually have 3 out of the 6 or 7, including the bottom one here. You have 3 major arcanas. This tells me that you are currently undergoing massive changes in your life. Major arcanas are huge, monumental steps that are being taken here in your life. And this new beginning is something you have contemplated. Perhaps you have been waiting to make these choices, or divine timing has played out in some way, but it's showing up and it's here. You are uncovering truths within your own divinity. So let's dive into messages from your spiritual helpers. You have here Serapis Bey, and he brings in with him ascension. Move into your true self. Yeah, that's what Spirit just brought in. So you're moving into this part of yourself that isn't hanging on to the old patterns, the old conditions, the old stories. You're releasing that. That's why judgment is coming in, saying there's a burden that you are being called to shed, to release in your life. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. The light is here for you, Sag. This is kind of a big deal. You have holy amethyst, divine alchemy, moving beyond current challenges. You are being asked to focus on what you desire, because what you focus on grows. And yes, in the past, there have been plenty of trials and tribulations, challenges and struggles that have caused you to go through this rebirthing process, but you have been reinventing yourself, Sag, from the inside out. And now you're starting to see it take place in your material world. So divine alchemy is present in your life. And lastly, you have Freya coming in with moon phases and cycles. You see the beautiful moon in the background. Now, the moon in tarot represents illusions. And I see here that you are breaking through illusions and truth is resurfacing. This has to do with your true self as well. Letting go of the old, trusting in your intuitive knowing. There is a beginning with every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. And the judgment here is the new beginning that is surfacing for you after a time of maybe some huge shifts or endings that have occurred, maybe in relationships, maybe in your career. Some of you, these are health issues, family dynamics. Certain things have come to an end, but they have also come through a powerful transformative journey. And I see that you are not the same Sag that you were 6 months ago, right? You're not the same Sagittarius that you were even 6 days ago, as you are ascending rapidly. That's what Serapis Bay is reminding you. It feels like you are rising above the fray, you're rising above the darkness, and you're really embracing the light, which is truth. So let's dive in here and get messages here from first your higher self. What does your higher self want you to know at this time? You have the 5 of Wands, a challenge that you can resolve. All right. That's what your higher self wants you to know. Whatever this challenge is, Sagittarius, that is dominating your life or taking precedence in your life at this time, you are being asked to withdraw from drama around it, right? The illusions, because illusions can bring up a lot of drama. Have patience with yourself. Try to have patience with those around you. But the 5 of Wands is cutting out unnecessary conflict or criticism, because there may be too many people involved. Sometimes this can be too many cooks in the kitchen where everybody wants to stick their nose in. And I see here that your higher self is saying, soak back into you, right? Or, fall back into that sense of self instead of letting the external show up in a way that kind of pulls you in all different angles. So this is a challenge that you can resolve. She's actually bringing you on this illustration. You have the angel in the background, and there you are in front of this puzzle. And so maybe there's been something in your life that has been very puzzling, but this angel is bringing you the missing piece. So something has felt missing. It feels like you haven't had the one final piece of something that you've needed to feel complete or to feel whole. That's what's shifting. And your higher self wants you to know that it's here, like it's been here all along, but sometimes those trials and tribulations have us feeling a bit disconnected, have us feeling a bit lost from time to time. And you're not alone. You have something here that most people don't. I feel like you have a gift and you are rising above the energies that have felt very heavy, that may have even held you back. So let's look at some of those blocks. Let's look at the blind spot here for you. The 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups as a blind spot can be ego, it can be external noise. And for some of you, this is unhealthy past attachments, especially that were tied to feelings or emotions. The 6 of Cups can even be romanticizing the past, or it can be a difficult childhood. It can be wounding that has happened in the past where you may have felt like you were stuck in that cycle. But I feel like you are also embracing your own inner child. There may have been a lot of inner child healing that has been taking place, or that you are asked to maybe work through at this time. Embrace your inner child. Ask little him or her, what do you need? What do you need at this time in your life? I'm here for you. I got you. I'm not going to leave you behind. And some of you are working through abandonment. Perhaps you're working through rejection, isolation. Perhaps there's a part of you that is going through an identity shift. Maybe a role that you were once in is no longer valid. Maybe it's no longer part of your divine path, and you're shifting into a new role, a new persona. You're wearing a new hat. And sometimes it can be hard to let go of that old identity. You may be guided to embrace new friendships, or there may even be a relationship that you've wanted to rekindle, but maybe there's been a block when it comes to rekindling that dynamic, maybe with a family member, maybe someone that you knew growing up with. I feel like you are also connecting with the energy of the child. So maybe the block or the blind spot has to do with children of your own, maybe grandchildren, or maybe you are the child and you're dealing with parental energies here. So I definitely see that this has been something that has been rooted in, past dynamics. That's the biggest blind spot here for some of you. Now, what is showing up here as the mirror? How is this being reflected in your life? The Page of Wands is showing up here. It's being reflected because you are being guided to explore new possibilities here. You are someone, Sag, who's naturally energetic. You're someone who's naturally optimistic, playful, and brave, but perhaps you haven't felt that way in some time. Perhaps you've been feeling a bit dull or even a bit numb due to this suppression. Maybe some of you, this is emotional suppression with that Six of Cups, but you are being guided at this time to follow your passion. You are ready for any challenge. Now, the Page of Wands gives a challenge a wink and says, I got this, right? This page is a student of life, always curious. He is creative and he has that childlike enthusiasm. Some of you may be having a hard time embracing the magic that life has to offer. You know, sometimes as we mature and as we grow into our adulthood, we forget that we still have this inner child that wants to play, that wants to have fun, that wants to be happy, that wants to dance, that wants to be spontaneous from time to time. And maybe that's a part of yourself where you haven't been able to let that inner child out to have some fun. And now it's showing up in your life as something that is calling you through passions, through your excitement. There are opportunities here, Sag, for adventure and happiness and excitement ahead. So this is being mirrored to you in a very powerful way. So you are being guided to lean into those passions, lean into those maybe projects of yours. This can also be your career. Maybe there's a new course of study. Some of you are on a new course altogether. Maybe this is a new romantic relationship where you're starting to talk to someone, connect with someone. For others of you, this is definitely around your spiritual passions here. You may be wanting to learn more about your career or more about spirituality, more about ascension, and maybe even more about like the moon cycles, the sun and the moon. This could be your sun sign and even your moon sign. And actually, Sagittarius, if you are a sun sign Sag here today, I challenge you to check out your moon bonus reading. Okay, if you happen to know your moon sign, check that one out as well, because there could be a complementary energy that shows up. Remember, our sun is our outer appearance and our moon is our, internal emotional world. So external world, internal world, and you may be seeing the whole picture now of a situation. Now, what is the shift? What needs to be released or even embraced in order for you to fully show up to the gift that is being offered? You have the Hierophant. There may be a new commitment that you are starting to say yes to in your life. The Hierophant could even be a teacher. Some of you may be guided to work with a mentor, a spiritual healer, or a coach, a therapist, someone who can help assist and guide you at this time. You may be in the midst of searching for meaning. There's the Judgment here as well, searching for the meaning. Like, what is my life all about? What am I here for? What is my purpose? What am I meant to be doing with my time, with my energy, with my gifts? Consider an alternative approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers and friends. So what is shifting is your belief system. Divine guidance, the Hierophant, is our belief system based on how we were brought up, based on our family, based on society, based on relationships that have come before us, everything compiled. That's why the Judgment is showing up here, because you're taking a look at all of the experiences that you've had in your life. Some of you have definitely been walking down memory lane lately with that Six of Cups, and you may be taking a look now and saying, okay, what has worked for me in the past? What has not worked? Or perhaps, what beliefs do I need to upgrade? How can I renovate my life? It feels like you are destroying old patterns, old paradigms, old versions of you in order to rise up and meet this version of you that you have yet to meet. This feels pretty profound here coming in. as you are considering an alternative path in your life. So what is the gift? What is waiting on the other side of this belief shift here as you're recommitting yourself? Some of you, this has to do with the commitment of marriage, maybe the commitment towards, a certain role, as I mentioned, a certain role or persona or hat that you have worn. You may be asking, is this still the energy that I want to be in? Is this still the hat that I want to wear? Is this still the identity that I feel tied to? Or maybe I want to release myself from it. Now, the gift here is the Three of Pentacles. So what's waiting on the other side? This is a time in your life where you are being called to do what you love. This is a time of great personal growth in your career and even your artistic endeavors. Sagittarius, you are being called to work with others in a cooperative, collaborative manner. Now, it's interesting here because the Three of Coins, Three of Pentacles, also known as the Three of Ariel here in this deck, is also about wearing many different hats. And we're talking about wearing different hats here. So for some of you, you may have a few things going on, but I feel like this is your skilled efforts. This is also about you bringing in resourceful people to help you out on your journey. Some of you, this is going to be your soul tribe. Maybe this is coworkers. This could be clientele. I feel like you're meant to branch off, networking. This is community here, feeling like you are making a difference. I'm getting like nonprofit here. Some of you, this is going to be humanitarian work. I'm also getting like volunteer. And for some of you, you could be donating or helping out at a shelter. Perhaps you are making a difference in someone's life in some way. And maybe it's not tied to financial compensation. It could be, but I do see here that others are connecting or wanting to work with you or reach out to you. This is kind of a big deal because it means that, there's mastery here. This is about skillful planning. You have been planning for this moment. You've been planning your exit is kind of what I'm getting here. Yeah, you've been planning your exit because you are recommitting to something that's much more aligned with your purpose. Yeah, you are committing to a path that feels like it's more liberating, it's more joyful, it's more adventurous. It feels like it is truly aligned with your soul. So lastly, let's take a look at the integration, the outcome, the grounded action, or even mindset to carry moving forward. You have the Tower. The Tower is let it crumble, changing your life. Wayne Dyer says when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that's what you're doing here. Your belief system, the way that you are seeing the world, maybe others, the way that you are seeing yourself, all of this is shifting here. There's a sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. That's the grounded action step that you are guided to take, because sometimes we procrastinate because we hang on to the things that are within our comfort zone, even if it's uncomfortable, right? Then why is it called the comfort zone? Because we become familiar with it. It becomes our default programming, our default mechanism that we fall back onto. And there's something here that you've been falling back onto and it doesn't make you happy. Not with that Five of Wands. There's too much drama around it, right? Or there's too much struggle or competition or even a group think where everybody is thinking in this one way. And you are the brave soul that is saying, wait a second. Why am I following the crowd? I have my own voice. I have my own path. I have my own thoughts. I have my own belief. So if you find yourself following the crowd here, I definitely see that you are coming up to a point where you're breaking out of the mold. The Tower here is sudden changes, awakenings. This is a new beginning, so don't resist it. It is coming up here for you. It is meant for you. With the Judgment card here and the Tower, yes, we have to deal with the consequences of our actions. But I see here that there is a second chance for you to liberate yourself through compassion and forgiveness and saying, okay, yes, things haven't turned out maybe the way that I had hoped, or perhaps I did get myself in this sticky situation, or something may have occurred. Maybe the world threw some lemons at you, right? I feel like you are given this second chance to make lemonade. You're given this chance to turn something sour into something sweet. So this is your moment. This is your ascension. This is your awakening. Sag, that is what I have for you, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe. Okay, thank you, Spirit. I'm getting a message here around shoes, flip-flops, or sandals. If you have a flip-flop or sandal break, okay, that is a sign that you are meant to move into, literally, walk into a new timeline. Maybe it's about you letting go of how you thought something was going to look and surrendering to this new life. I'm also getting the name Kyle or Kai could be significant here. And then they're showing me a rainbow. So it feels like there's a rainbow coming in after the storm. Something is clearing out for you. You are moving out of current challenges. You're moving into the true self. Thank you again, Sag. Lots of love.